I still remember the annual office Christmas party like it was yesterday. The bass vibrated through the floor, a physical thrum that mirrored the nervous energy buzzing in my chest. 44 years old, and here I was, surrounded by a shimmering sea of sequins and forced smiles. My name's Laura, and honestly, I felt like a wilted poinsettia amongst a field of perfectly groomed orchids. The air hung thick with the scent of cheap perfume and desperation, the kind that clung to the edges of conversations and spilled onto the dance floor, a sticky, sweet residue of office politics and unspoken desires. As I scanned the room, my eyes landed on Mark from accounting, attempting a particularly awkward rendition of the Macarena. A small, almost imperceptible smile touched my lips. He was a constant, a predictable element in the swirling chaos of the night, a comforting reminder of the mundane. I had worked with Mark for years, and his antics always brought a sense of familiarity to these events. But despite his best efforts, the party still felt like a chore, a necessary evil in the corporate world. I made my way to the bar, nursing a lukewarm glass of Chardonnay, and trying to blend into the background. The music was loud, the conversations were forced, and I just wanted to go home. But then, something unexpected happened. I found myself drawn into a conversation with Sarah, from marketing. Sarah, with her vibrant crimson dress and a laugh that could cut through the cacophony, was surprisingly insightful. We talked about work, yes, but also about the absurdity of forced merriment, the unspoken anxieties that simmered beneath the surface of professional cheer. It was strangely comforting to find a kindred spirit amidst the throng of colleagues. We commiserated about the pressure to be festive, to wear the right outfit, and to pretend that we were all having the time of our lives. But as we talked, I realized that Sarah was more than just a colleague. She was a person with hopes, fears, and dreams. She confessed that she'd secretly applied for a position in London, a leap of faith that both thrilled and terrified her. For a moment, the weight of years lifted, replaced by a shared understanding, a clandestine camaraderie forged in the heart of a corporate Christmas party. As we talked, I found myself opening up to Sarah in ways that I never had with anyone else at the office. We talked about our lives, our aspirations, and our fears. It was a conversation that felt raw, honest, and utterly refreshing. The music faded slightly as a slow song began, a surprising romantic interlude amidst the general party chaos. Sarah and I exchanged a glance, and for a moment, I felt a spark of connection that went beyond mere friendship. As the night wound down, and the last of the stragglers stumbled out into the crisp night air, I felt a surprising lightness. The awkwardness, the forced smiles, even Mark's Macarena, it all seemed to melt away, replaced by a quiet sense of accomplishment. Not for professional achievements, but for the simple act of connecting, of sharing a moment of genuine human connection amidst the manufactured cheer. Sarah's confession had been a revelation. It reminded me that even in the most predictable of settings, even amidst the corporate Christmas clichés, there's always room for unexpected moments of authenticity, and perhaps, even a little courage. The night hadn't been perfect, far from it, but it was, unexpectedly, my own. As I walked home, the cool night air filling my lungs, I felt a sense of hope that I hadn't felt in years. Maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something new, something that would take me beyond the confines of my predictable life. I thought about Sarah and our conversation, and I realized that I wanted to see her again, to explore the connection that we had forged in the midst of the party chaos. Over the next few weeks, Sarah and I met for coffee, and then for dinner, and slowly but surely, our friendship blossomed into something more. We talked about our dreams, our aspirations, and our fears. We laughed together, and we cried together. And as we navigated the ups and downs of life, I realized that I had found a true partner, a kindred spirit who understood me in ways that no one else ever had. Looking back, I realized that the office Christmas party had been a turning point in my life. It had been a reminder that even in the most mundane of settings, there's always room for connection, for authenticity, and for love. And as I look at Sarah, now my partner, I know that I will always cherish the memory of that night, the night that changed my life forever. As the months turned into years, our relationship continued to grow, and we faced the ups and downs of life together. We traveled, we built a home, and we started a family. And through it all, I never forgot the lesson that I had learned at that office Christmas party, that connection, authenticity, and love can be found in the most unexpected places, and that sometimes, all it takes is a little courage to take a chance and see where life takes you. Years later, as I look back on that night, I am reminded of the power of human connection. In a world that often values productivity and efficiency over people, it's easy to get lost in the chaos of everyday life. But that night, surrounded by the forced cheer and desperation of the office Christmas party, I found something truly special. I found a connection that went beyond mere friendship, a connection that changed my life forever. And as I look at Sarah, now my wife, I am grateful for that night, for the courage to take a chance, and for the love that we share. I am grateful for the reminder that even in the most mundane of settings, there's always room for connection, for authenticity, and for love. And I am grateful for the lesson that I learned that night, that life is full of unexpected moments, and that sometimes, all it takes is a little courage to take a chance and see where life takes you. The bass may have vibrated through the floor that night, but it was the beat of my heart that truly changed my life. It was the beat of connection, of authenticity, and of love. And as I look back on that night, I know that I will always cherish the memory of the office Christmas party, the night that changed my life forever. As the years went by, our love continued to grow, and we became one of those couples that people look up to. We were the couple that had found love in the most unexpected place, and we were grateful for every moment that we spent together. We knew that our love was special, and we made sure to nurture it every day. One day, as we were sitting on our couch, holding hands, and looking back on our journey, Sarah turned to me and said, "You know, I never thought that I would find love at an office Christmas party." I smiled and replied, "I know exactly what you mean. But I'm so glad that we did." We both laughed, and our eyes locked in a way that only happens when two people are truly meant to be together. In that moment, I knew that our love would last a lifetime. We had found each other in the most unexpected way, and we had made it work. We had taken a chance on each other, and it had paid off in the best possible way. As I looked into Sarah's eyes, I knew that I would always love her, no matter what life threw our way. And so, our story became one of hope, of love, and of the power of human connection. It was a reminder that even in the most mundane of settings, there's always room for connection, for authenticity, and for love. And it was a testament to the fact that sometimes, all it takes is a little courage to take a chance and see where life takes you. Years later, as we sat on our porch, holding hands, and watching the sunset, I turned to Sarah and said, "You know, I'm so glad that we met at that office Christmas party." She smiled and replied, "Me too, my love. Me too." And as we sat there, enjoying each other's company, I knew that our love would last a lifetime. We had found each other in the most unexpected way, and we had made it work. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, I knew that our love would continue to shine bright, a beacon of hope in a world that often forgets the power of human connection.